All right. I think we're live. Pretty sure. I know I said I was going to go at 10 or 9 o'clock, but here we are 10 minutes early. Figured we'd get a little extra time in. And we'll just wait for people to show up. All right. Let's go ahead and do live chat. Get everything set up. Should be good to go on that. All right. Rodney's here. Steve is here. What's going on, fellas? How we doing? Lee's in the house. Jason's here. Good to see everybody coming back in. Tom A is here. Happy New Year, Tom. Happy New Year, everybody. And I do apologize for not being more diligent on the tractor talks, but I had a very important goal that I had to meet by the end of the year, which involved a lot of overtime and a lot of helping Rudy out in the shop when I couldn't get the overtime. So we did meet the goal, which is good. So it's a new year, on to different goals and different things. So Rune's here. Gene's in the house. How we doing, Gene? John Muncie's in the house. 23 degrees and cold. Well, I don't even know what the temperature is here. Below zero, I'm sure. Let's see. I'll check my weather app on my phone. Well, it's above zero. 7 degrees feels like, 6 degrees feels like minus 11. Hyatt's here. How we doing, Hyatt? Yep, 6 degrees feels like minus 11. Gene says he's hanging in there, recovering. Yeah, I bet, but he made it through, man. That's what matters. Smitty's in the house. Lee Harris. Busy. All right. I'm guessing a lot of people were excited to get this tractor talk underway. I feel like there's probably a lot of questions out there about what's going on around the house here. McLean Farms Ryan's in the house. Rodney says, here in South Carolina, 23 is very cold with a low of 18 by morning. Yeah, down there, that would be cold. Up here, that'd be a heat wave. Hunting and stuff's in the house. So any questions you guys got about what's going on around here, I'm open for answering. Steve says, sent an email a week or so ago. I don't know if I got it. Let me look. I might have to check my spam. Sometimes stuff gets flagged and put in there. I'll check my spam. I don't see nothing in my spam. Try sending it again, Steve, and I'll get back to you. I've had an interesting week here with some scammers on the internet. They were able to get $400 out of me, so they hacked into my PayPal and got that money. So in a roundabout way. I tried to recall it and filed a dispute with PayPal, and hasn't gone anywhere yet, but it is what it is. Let's see. North Florida is expecting 24 degrees. That's cold for Florida. What have I been up to lately? Working. Actually, tonight, this is the fan shaft. I don't know if you guys saw a quick blip of that on Squatch's channel. He repaired this end, the threads he repaired, and then the keyway he repaired as well for us. So I just spent some time because there's I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's some pipe wrench marks in the shaft here. So I spent some time just kind of filing those smooth and sanding them out. But they're pretty deep, so I'm not going to get them all the way out, but at least they're smooth and yeah. So I just did that real quick tonight, but not much going on around here. The D I've been working on slowly but surely, working on some small parts. I'll take you guys in the room here. Everything that I've done with the D, I've been trying to keep inside, out of the elements, out of the cold. So my spare bedroom is kind of my storage area / so down here I got a bunch of parts that we've coated with Glipdol. I'll kind of go through some stuff real quick. We got the governor housing, got an intermediate gear, fan shaft and governor gear. We have our oil pressure indicator, oil pump. Over here we have some of the rocker arm components, cam followers, different covers and whatnot. Over back there in the corner, we have the governor drive gear with the weights. I have to put new pins in those weights. So we're going to have to figure out how we're going to do that. And then this stuff here is the big ticket items. The crankshaft is done. I have to install a new crankshaft gear on there. We've got a magneto from Rudy, an original magneto, an Edison Splitdorf magneto. The block and the pistons, that was sandblasted, boiled out, bored. Everything was checked for cracks. Brand new pistons. We got rings and wrist pins in there. Cam shaft is over here. That's all reground and done. So, and I just sent payment off to Paul's Rod and Bearing in Parkersville, Missouri, because the main bearings and the connecting rods are done. All new Babbitt, all machined, ready to go. So those are going to be showing up here shortly. So at this point, it's just a matter of cleaning up a lot of the rear end components. I still have to get all new gaskets, which is not cheap, but there's only a couple places that offer them. What else? What else do we have to do? A couple other governor pieces we still have to figure out, but it's the governor and the fan shaft is almost completely done as far as repairs and what we needed to do on that. I'm hoping the bearings for the rear end, for the axles and for the differential are good. If they're not, if I can even get them, they're going to be expensive because they're big. So big Hyatt roller bearings. So let me scroll up here and get caught up. Other than that, there's not much happening. Yeah, Steve, I don't know where that email ended up, but if you've got a mag and distributor you want to send it on up to Rudy's shop, Rebuilt Mags. You can find the address, just Google it and ship it there. Make sure you pack it well. I like to recommend people use old shop rags or T-shirts and just stuff that box as full as you can so that item doesn't move around. So Rudy's here. Who else? Tim is here. Chrome Pipe Kid is in the house. If you guys haven't checked out Chrome Pipe Kid's channel, he's got some cool videos out there, so check his little channel out. Oof, Dame, I'm just checking out what I'm missing here. Squatch 253, he did the fan shaft. So what he did on the fan shaft, I don't know if he did any filming on the fan shaft repair that he did or not, but he welded up the end here, turned it down and rethreaded it, and then he had to cut a new keyway in this portion of the shaft. This is the, let me think here. I believe this is the fan end. So the nut had completely wore away the threads on this end of the shaft. So he had welded it up, turned it down, put new threads on the end, and then recut the keyway in the end for us. So Rudy says, pack everything in brand new shop rags. Yeah, that'll work. Mr. Stubbs here in the house. Paul, how we doing? Bryce is here. All right. How are the hat sales going? Somebody had asked how the hat sales are going. They're going well with the whole PayPal and Venmo infiltration. I had to shut things down for a minute, so I wasn't able to sell anything over the internet because unless people were going to send, a check in the mail or cash, which is risky, but unless that was an option for them, then it was a lot of people, a lot of coworkers have bought hats for me, a lot of friends and coworkers, which is really, really great. So, I've probably sold, I don't know, 40 plus hats by now. So it's it's been good. So these are the most popular ones. The green and khaki are by far the most popular. The camouflage ones, a lot of people seem to like those too. So, but I've got colors for basically all brands of tractors. I got red and black for Farmall, or I guess if you wanted to get that for Massey, you could. I've got orange and black for Case. Is it orange and black? Yeah, orange and black for Case or Alice. I've got green and yellow for John Deere. I've got blue and white for Ford. I've got a forest green and white for Oliver. We've got charcoal and black. We've got the green and khaki. I've got like a 70s style green camo, like you would see on like the Vietnam era BDU or battle dress uniforms that they wear in the field in the military. And then we have more of a desert camo. I got a lot of different ones. So I don't think I have any of the camo ones here in the house. I have a couple at work that are sold to a coworker. So I'm pretty much out of those, but I'm definitely thankful for everybody that's been supportive of the hat business, because that is all going back into the John Deere D project. What I've made so far on the hats will probably pay for all the gaskets that I need, which will not be cheap. So it's nice to have friends like Rudy and Squatch. You're darn right it is. I mean, Rudy has helped me so much in a variety of different areas, not just in tractors, but just life in general. So he's a great friend and mentor of mine, and very thankful to have been able to create this friendship with him. So, and Squatch, same thing. He's got me out of a couple of binds, both with the John Deere D and the Farmall H. So definitely thankful for Squatch too. Yeah, Paul's got a hat still sitting on my kitchen counter. One of these days he'll either come out here or I'll get it out to him. So Tom says he's going to pick up a hat too. I appreciate that, Tom. Just let me know. You know how to get a hold of me. Let's see. Gene bought 2 hats. Yeah. Let's see. What is the most popular hat? Definitely these ones, the green and khaki. They're kind of a neutral. They go with about anything you could wear. I really like the charcoal and black ones too. They look really good. I could probably go upstairs and grab one quick if you guys want to see it. Paul says he'll be around this weekend. Unfortunately, I'll be working. Probably more overtime too. I'm trying to get a jump on something I've got in the works here, so I'm not gonna talk about it on the channel until we finalize it. But I've got hopefully something really major coming, so will be a really good addition to the channel. Yeah, Squatch is an amazing mechanic. I don't think there's anything that guy can't fix. It's incredible. Not only a mechanic, but a fabricator too. Yeah, I can run upstairs. I just don't want to wake up my kid. I'll be right back. I'm in my pajamas too. Don't judge me. Okay, I've got a whole bunch of them here. Here is the orange and black for the case guys. They're all snapback in the back. They're all a mesh because it keeps you cooler in the summer. And snapbacks pretty much fit anybody. So there's the orange and black for Case and Alice guys. Here you got blue and white for Ford guys. Then you got red and black for Farmall and Massey guys. Here's the forest green and white for Oliver guys. Green and yellow for the John Deere guys. Oh, I forgot about these ones. I don't think I have any charcoal ones left here, but these are kind of a cool, it's almost like a Carhartt color, kind of that duck color with black mesh in the back and a patch on the front. I really like this one too. It's a neutral color. And then, of course, you got the same one that I'm wearing, the drab green and khaki. But I haven't had any complaints on any of them, so. Let's see. Yeah, Tom, that's true. He's got a lot of the right tools and references, so that helps. At least I'm not wearing my pajamas at a store. No, it's always jeans if I go out. So, how is the Relics John Deere 60 coming? Well, it's here. Haven't touched it since. We rolled it off the trailer and it's been sitting there ever since. But, I've been working a lot, and whatever work I do get done in the garage, it's always with the D, because that's my goal, is to have that thing running by the shows this summer and fall, because Rolog is featuring John Deere this year, and I'd really love to have it at Rolog. I don't know if it's going to happen. I can't make any promises just because you don't know what's going to come up. I don't know how bad the bearings are in the rear end and what it's going to cost, if they are bad, to replace them. But my goal is to have that John Deere D as new as you can get it internally. So Tom likes the red and black. Okay. Well, shoot me an email. You know how to get a hold of me, because I like to I like to tell people to send me an email because then I have a paper trail and I can keep track of everything. It's just easier that way for me. So I don't have any Caterpillar ones though. I don't have any yellow and black or anything like that. I probably should look at that, but let's see. Chrome Pipe Kid says he loves the case colored ones. Theo Posh, I think I'm saying that right. Poch. Did your rash ever improve that you had a year ago? It comes and goes. It's kind of weird. And the doctors, I've been to the dermatologist. They haven't been able to figure anything out, but they think it's stress related, which is probably correct. But yeah, it comes and goes. I actually just had a couple blisters pop up the other day, but it only comes on my left side and it's only on the extremities, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Does anyone know what the feature at Now Then is? Well, I can look. Let's see. We'll get it on the Google. 2024 is featuring Case. Oh, I should have known that. I contacted Corey Anderson and his wife Allie to see if they could bring the 150 to Now Then, and I also contacted the Now Then Historical Power Association to see if they would be willing to, pay what it costs to get it there, because, that's not something that the Andersons should be expected to pay. If a show wants to feature that tractor there, it's up to the show to pay for the transport and the insurance. So it's unfortunately it's tentatively booked for that weekend already, so it's not going to be at Now Then, I don't think, but never say never. I mean, I did put the bug in the ear of both Corey and the Now Then Historical Power Association, so I'm kind of the middleman in that, and I'm going to, now that we're past the first of the year, I'm going to check in with Corey and his wife Allie and see if that thing has been finalized to be at another show or not. So, but Case is the feature this year, so my SC will be there. I'm hoping we can get the Relics SC up and running. We don't have much left on it to get it going, but it's a matter of time and getting everybody's schedules to align. And my priority right now is the John Deere D over everything tractor related. So Larry wants to know what the total number of shows I listed was for the tri-state area. I have no idea. I just kept Googling and kept making a list. So I would say over 30 shows for sure. Charles Castle's in the house. Welcome, Charles. Yeah, I don't have any Moline hats either, but they don't have any, yellow and red hats that really looked good. So I can keep looking though. You never know. I'm trying to keep it simple too. I already have so many colors available. It's like sometimes it's kind of tough to, you can't please everybody is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? So, but I'm trying to do what I can. Squatch and Senior already bought 2 of these green and khaki hats. So big thank you to them too for supporting the little guy like me. Oh, I gotta lean back. My back's hurting. So Steve says he'll probably have a semi-load to go to Rolog. That's a good load. If we could get the 150 to Now Then, it would be badass. Yeah, it would be. There wouldn't be much for it to do there except drive around and then hook up to the sawmill. That'd probably be about it. But your best bet, if you want to see the 150, is go to Andover. And Andover is a really cool show. It's smaller, but Corey and his family, they put on a great show, and they make everybody feel like family. So I highly recommend, if you guys can make the trip to Andover, South Dakota, the weekend after Rolog, I highly recommend you guys do it. Oh, it's booked for Baraboo that weekend? That makes sense. Tom asks, now that I'm through Steam School, am I going to operate the 150? I'm going to try to work my way up. I feel like the 150 is a very small circle of people that operate that tractor. Obviously, Corey, Jeff Detweiler is another operator of it. Corey's dad, Kevin, um, probably Jim Bryden, probably. Not a whole lot of people probably operate that tractor. Number one, it's an expensive piece of equipment, so I can understand why people have to be hesitant on allowing others to operate it. So, number two, I'm not a steam professional. I don't, I know a little bit. I know enough to work some levers, and I know the right questions to ask. But when it comes to injectors and putting water in the boiler and checking water levels and the tricox and all that, I still need some more. I have more learning to do, and that's the three most important questions of steam operation: is where's your water, where's your water, where's your water. So someday, I mean, that'd be basically it'd be a dream come true to operate something like the 150. But I have a lot of dreams. So yeah, Charles, I know you've been right behind me since the beginning, and I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody's support. So did I see the 110K steam engine ad I put in the Facebook group? In the Rusty Nuts Ranch Facebook group? I don't think I did. Oh, there it is. Adjusted for inflation, the price in 2024 money would be $96,609, which still, I mean, when you look at the cost of like a new quad track, that's probably still a bargain. Hyatt says, which one should I go to? Rolog or Now Then? Well, my vote would be for Rolog just because you're coming all the way from Florida. And last year, you tried to come, but you had some family stuff get in the way. So I would say Rolog personally, but Charles says sorry for not making any of the shows, but he's in Northeast Tennessee. Hey, no big deal, man. Brother-in-law asked if I saw the video of the 150 plowing. I said, yeah, I know a guy that was riding the plow. Shocked the heck out of him. Oh, that was me. Yeah, steam engines, you really should have two people operating. There's a lot of shows that require two people. You need a fireman and you need an operator or an engineer. So, yep, I'm still young. I got plenty of time, so you never know. And Corey is roughly the same age as I am, so he's only a couple years older than me. What is the cost of the hats? So the hats are $30, which sounds kind of like a lot for a hat, but a coworker friend of mine makes them, and he gets half of the 30. So he gets $15, and then I take the other 15 and put it in a fund for the projects here at the ranch. And shipping is about $8. So by the time it's all said and done, it'd be about $38. But it's like I said, it's going to a good cause. My coworker, these hats cost roughly about $8 to make, so he's only making about $7 on them, and he's just doing it for a favor to me. So the other $15, like I said, goes directly into the project. So you're really not paying me. You're paying for the projects. So this was kind of the best way that I could think of to offer you guys to be a part of the project, support them. I don't want to open the membership side of the channel up yet because I'm not in a position to dedicate the amount of time that I feel I would need to justify opening up the membership side, because you really need to upload about 2 to 3 videos a week in order to keep that side going. You need to do for sure 2 videos, one for the membership side and one for the regular YouTube side. But if you do the same videos, the people that are paying memberships are going to start dropping off, because they're just going to say, well, why am I paying a membership when you're uploading this video to the member side on Tuesday, but putting the same video on the public feed on Thursday? I could just wait till Thursday and see it for free. You know what I'm saying? So you really have to upload 2 different videos a week. And I don't have the time right now to dedicate to the videos, because I have some projects I'm working on that you guys are really going to like, I think, that I have to work the overtime and help Rudy in the shop with in order to get those projects moving. So until that happens, the sporadic videos that I make are going to be what it is, because I'm chasing dreams here. So I'm trying to do it all together. The YouTube channel, make things happen here at the ranch, the tractor projects, all those things I'm trying to do and keep everything moving. So, and my number one thing is time with my daughter. So, do I ever get strikes on my channel? No, because any of the music I put on there is from the YouTube pre-approved music archive, and that's all stuff that's been vetted and you can use in your videos without getting any copyright infringements. So some of my early videos where I was doing Harley Davidson stuff and things like that, some of them did get flagged because I was putting like AC/DC and things like that in the videos, but I didn't really understand how YouTube worked back then. I was just posting videos just to post them. So a 160-foot, 9-inch, 6-ply canvas drive belt was $64 back in the day, adjusted for inflation. That's $2,023. Yep, stuff isn't cheap anymore. Corsair Smitty says, looking to support you and the work you do in the troubleshooting videos that help me and my John Deere A. I appreciate that, man, and I appreciate everybody that's willing to support me, even if it's just watching the videos. That every click, everybody that watches the ads and all that stuff, that all helps. So Minnesota Rail fan Ian, how we doing, bud? Welcome. Stuff isn't affordable anymore. Yeah, tell me about it. try and rebuild a pre-1930 John Deere D and then talk to me about affordable. I'm lucky enough to where I have a lot of people that I've met and created friendships with on Facebook, and Rudy, he has got a lot of connections, so it's very, very helpful for sure. The internet is a blessing and a curse. You can definitely find almost anything you need to know, or parts, and you can ask questions, and it's all the information's at your fingertips. You just got to reach out. Don't let up on chasing your dreams. You're young and persistent, and I'll realize them. I sure hope so. Like to think all this hard work wasn't for nothing, right? I think we got a couple talented guys who would do your music for you. The twin and elder brother and the son would really have no issue. This is true, but the problem is, even if it's a cover of a song, I think you can still get in trouble. So you got to be careful with that stuff. Having a regular job makes it tough on you to make that many videos. Well, a regular job that I'm working 60 to 70 hours a week at, and then, helping Rudy out in the shop, and then being a dad to a 4-year-old, a 4-year-old that's in dance at that. So, it's all about trying to find little moments to fit in time to wrench. So they also made peanut threshing machines. Never even heard of that. I hope sometime I could get to see your tractor collection sometime. Yeah, anytime. Rudy, if you pull the coil wire on a magneto, will it hurt the coil? The short answer is yes. If that's like how you shut the tractor off, or if you're running the magneto on a test bench without the coil grounding out to something, then yes, it can hurt the coil and cause it to prematurely fail. Smitty, thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. Hyatt says the F-20 that I rescued and got running, the last video of it was in tractor pull in Colorado. Have I received any updates since then? I have not. I don't know if it's still running, if they're still using it. I have no idea. The Minneapolis ZTU that I sold, there was a gentleman, or the gentleman that bought it, emailed me a little while back, a couple months ago or so, and he had asked me a couple questions about some parts that, where could I get parts or something like that. But it was a very short conversation, and I don't even remember what he asked me. But saw a guy on YouTube scrapping a 41 SC smooth block. Yeah, I saw that too. It's too bad, but you can't save them all. Charles says, I need to take care of the family first, because those days you can't get back. Yeah, and that's what I try to do. If I'm not working, I'm with my daughter, and, it's usually when I'm wrenching, it's when she's in bed and I stay up extra late to, get something done in the garage. But right now it's, negative 12 or whatever it is, so I'm not going out there. I have the propane heater that was sent to me by a YouTube fan that does help take the chill out of the air, but I'm leery at using a propane heater with the garage door closed. I don't want to end up on the floor with carbon monoxide poisoning. So working with the door open, even just a foot, is kind of counterproductive when it's this cold out. you really can't keep up with the cold with just this little propane heater. So Ian wants to know if I would ever get a garden tractor. I'd like to take a garden tractor and put a hit and miss engine in it, like a vintage garden tractor, something like an old wheel horse or something. But Wyco C has the exposed coil wire. But yeah, it's hard on the coils if you do that. So love seeing your daughter in the videos because she's happy just being with her hero or her dad. Oh, thanks, man. She's my hero too. I don't know where I'd be without that little sucker. Yeah, I'm just I've actually had two people in my life that have passed away because of carbon monoxide poisoning, so I'm not I'm pretty paranoid about it. So, yeah, those old brochures and stuff is very cool to look at. I have the original brochure for the farmhand loader that I have on my Farm All M. I bought it off of eBay from a guy in England, and it's marked in pen and an ink stamp from a dealer back in the day in Hopkins, Minnesota. So it went from Hopkins, Minnesota to England back to Minnesota, which is kind of funny. But have ever been to the tractor scrapyard in Barnesville, Minnesota? Yep, that's where my Farm LM came from. Gary and Don Beaver, they are legends in the tractor salvage business and the hobby, antique tractor and engine hobby. They have a pretty good collection from what I understand. So yeah, I've got a diesel heater too, and I don't even use that one anymore. Thinking about a Super M with an international loader. There you go. There was a hit and miss engine powered tractor at the Now Then threshing show last year. Yep, I've seen it. Very cool. Rudy actually has one that he's building, so we got to get that thing done and back together. Lots of projects going on, and trying to find time to get them all done. We've got a kerosene heater, and it's amazing. We had it in the house for a while, but we borrowed it from the house for the shop. Works good, but kerosene is pretty expensive. Yeah, you can usually run diesel in them too, but I have a Lanier waste oil furnace in the shop that does really well to heat it up. Yeah, I have a natural gas, a Resner heater that Rudy picked up for, I think he got it for free, but we just have to get it put up in the shop. But before we put it up, I want to finish insulating and sheetrocking because if I'm running heat without any insulation, I feel like I'm just throwing money out the window. So looking forward to seeing the John Deere back up and running. Me too. It should be a good big accomplishment. That thing is definitely, I would say, just as bad as the H. I'd suggest a pellet stove if you want to heat your garage, but I worry about flammables. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of room either. It's just a two-car garage, so I believe I've seen some of your stuff on yesterday's tractors, and I remember seeing the farmhand loader brochure. Yeah, I don't post so much on there anymore, and they just updated their site. I think I'm pretty sure Allstate's egg parts might have merged with them or something, but their forums look a little bit different right now. Did I get any of my parts from Don Livingston? Yes, I did. Don is a whiz in the case industry for sure, and he partners with, I believe, John Saley at Saley Implement to have sleeve and piston kits made for the SCs, and they're the only ones that have them. So if you need sleeves and pistons for an SC, you got to go to Don Livingston or John Saley at Saley Implement. So main thing that's been holding up the Massey project is that my stupid self used an impact wrench to put on my new starter motor. Uh-oh. Hopefully you didn't break the starter housing. Should get to the museum and break in the new shop. 40 by 80 with floor heat. Need to finish the inside more, but it's usable. First of many project is to tighten rod bearings on the Hackney auto plow. 40 by 80 is a good size shop for sure. Love the wood stove in my shop. It's free heat. Yeah, wood stove would be good. A lot of insurance companies frown on it though. Yeah, Farmall 51 posts a lot of good stuff on YouTube too. Heated floors are actually a very efficient way to heat a building. Oh, broken bolts. Yeah, that sucks. What if you weld a flat washer to the broken bolt and then weld a nut to the front and then let it cool completely? It'll probably spin the nut out. So I guess my dog wants to say hi. She probably wants to go outside. Go outside? Hmm? Tractor guy Mark's here. Do I have a welder? No, I don't. Okay. Should probably plug the computer in, otherwise it's gonna die on me. There we go. Chrome Pipe Kid is off to bed. See you later, man. Thanks for stopping by. Beavers is where I got new front rims for my Super C. Yep, they have pretty much anything you need, from Rumley's to Farmall to, they've got a very impressive salvage yard, and if they don't have it, they'll probably know where to find it. Amber's here. How we doing, Amber? Yeah. Oh, I got a message. Picked up a compression release and primer cup for the D that I sent payment in the mail for, and they just messaged me that they received it. So the primer cup should be coming in the mail. Okay, let's see. Florida Flywheeler starts tomorrow. Never been there. I've only been to Florida once, and let's see, where did I go? Disney World, and then we went to the um, Medieval Times restaurant. I think it's in the Orlando area. There's also a guy north of Beavers on Highway 9 a few miles. Name is Bob. He has a bunch of newer stuff. I'm not into the newer stuff. I've had a lot of people ask me if, I'd ever get like a, 706 International. No. I have no interest in them. I mean, they're cool. They're a cool part of international history, but I got no interest in them. Too new for me. I like the old stuff. I just picked up a complete John Deere B parts tractor because I need 2 parts off of it. Well, that's kind of how it goes. I picked up a 28D that was complete and a 27D rear section, and I'm turning the 27 into a tractor, and the 28D is gone. But that 28 was really rough. The 27 wasn't great either in the rear end, but I'm taking all these parts and trying to make one good tractor. So the 27 isn't going to be 100% correct because it's got the 28 block in it, which is a 4-bolt water pipe. It should have a 2-bolt water pipe, but 2-bolt blocks bring a premium price. And when you have a good 4-bolt out of a 28, what the heck? You might as well just use it. Wanted to get to see Paquette's museum, never made it, and it's all sold off now. Yeah, I know. Farmall Land and Paquette's, they're both all done. It's too bad. A lot of these museums are drying up, but there's still a few around. 706 and 806 were tractors that saved International after that whole debacle with the 460 and 560. Yeah, I know. They're not my thing. I never was around them, never took interest in them, so it's just not my thing. How new would I go? I prefer magneto ignition and steel wheels, but just picked up 3 1950 Minneapolis diesels all run. Time to buy is when they are for sale. Well, I got the 53 John Deere 60, and that's between that and the 53 Super M that I had. Those were the newest tractors I've ever owned. So that's probably about where I'd stop is early 50s. So hunting and stuff is taking off. Thanks for stopping by. Glad to see you. I'm going to be done at 10 o'clock here. So Rudy says he's got a cousin in Fort Lauderdale. He wants to get down there sometime to visit. Only reason our 706 is still kicking around is because it's a family tractor, and it's also an LP, which is funny to see in the Midwest, as LP was usually a southern thing. I've often thought about that. Like, these LP tractors, how often do they need to be refilled? I mean, granted, it goes along with how often you use them, how hard you work them, but I can't imagine it was very convenient to fill an LP tractor. You either had to have a truck come out or have enough fuel in the tank to get to a station to refuel the LP. But I don't know how many hours or days you could get out of an LP tank. But I know on a forklift you can get a long time. But forklifts, you're not using a ton. Like tractors, you're running them all day long sometimes. Welcome back with more tractor gears. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, there's a pretty major thing that potentially, I'm going to say probably, is going to happen this spring. So, and that has nothing to do with John Deere D or any of the tractors really, but I'm hoping we can make it happen. So they go through a lot of fuel, but LP is cheaper or was than gas or diesel. One thing about LP is they burn a lot cleaner. So if you do an oil change, the oil looks like it just came out of the jug. Yeah, that's true. I think LPs were fueled off the bulk truck. That's kind of what I figured, but Matt wants to know how I met Squatch through YouTube. You know, I started watching his videos. He would comment back and forth with me on his videos and my videos, and then I met him for the first time in person. I can't remember what year it was, but when the last time Now Then featured Minneapolis, and he had his Minneapolis 445 crawler there, X253. He actually let me drive it, and he said at the time I was one of only two other people that he's let drive it. So pretty privileged to drive that thing around, and it's the first time I had ever driven a crawler. So pretty cool. Big draw to LP was in certain areas the fuel is very cheap. Seen photos of full-size propane tanks hanging on the front of G1000 Molines. Yeah, I could see that, I suppose. Cheaper fuel means cheaper production costs, so and you can get big tanks for farms. We've got 1,000-gallon LP tank on the farm, even though we have a thousand pound tank on the farm, even though we have 3 LP tractors. Most farms have their own LP pump on a 500 or 1,000-gallon tank. Wife wants a John Deere D, but I want an R diesel. She'll probably win. Hey, D's are a good way to go. Like a bull gear and transmission gears. Keep them nice and oiled. That's right. Neighbor growing up had converted his truck to a LP way back in the early 80s. Clean burning and the oil came out like new every time. That's pretty cool. Here in the East, farmers had storage tanks and could fill their LP tanks at their farm. Well, I suppose that makes sense. That was heating houses and everything. So Rudy's taking off for the night. See you later, Rudy. I'll get over to the shop some point this week. I'll have my daughter with me, but we'll stop by and say hi. We were given a Cub, Farm LA, and W4 last year. The Cub has no oil pressure. Others run good. Also got a VAC case donated to raffle off, going to put towards shop finishing. Great grandpa used the 706 to feed cattle because he could fire it up in the heated shop and let it warm up inside with the door closed before he took off. That makes sense. Your daughter drives a tractor in that future. She's already driving them. Not by herself, but she's driving them. She's getting pretty good at it. Raffling off a case. How can we participate? Got about 10 minutes and I'm going to be turning it in. Farmer NK. I'm rebuilding a Super Ram now. Parts and machine work are expensive to the point it's not worth restoring them. Your thoughts if these antique tractors will go to scrap more so than restored? I think that the people that are restoring them understand that they'll never get their money back out of them unless it's something extremely rare. But I'm not doing this, or most of us aren't doing this to make money on them. We're doing it because it's something we enjoy. It's something we like to preserve as far as history goes, and it's it's just what makes us happy. So my honest opinion is, if it's not for you, then you know maybe get it done, sell it, and be done with the hobby. But you're never gonna more than likely you're never gonna come out ahead on these things. So I will put that disclaimer out there. The cost of tires alone is a lot of times more than what the tractor itself is worth. So was given an international Super WDR9 Rice Special. Odd tractor for the prairie. She's rough, broke 3 half-inch chains trying to drag it onto my trailer. Going back in the spring. Oh boy. But they are a rare one. Steve's checking out. Thanks, Steve. We'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, break the mag down. We'll get it done. Darren is here. How's the 60? Happy New Year. The 60 is sitting outside. So tractor raffle is going to happen at the show Father's Day weekend. No, we haven't touched the 60 other than bringing it home. It's sitting there. So my priority, like I said, is John Deere D. So working on getting everything we need ready for that. That way in the spring when it warms up, we can just start putting things together. So that's the plan anyway. Only problem with LP is propane is cold and the evaporator uses coolant to evaporate the propane from a liquid to a gas. So if you start them in the winter, sometimes the evaporator freezes over. Paul is headed to bed. See you later, Paul. Appreciate that. Gears can always be art, not just used on other tractors. That's true. Hyatt wants to know if we're still holding 13 tractors here. Yes, we are. 13 tractors and counting. It's not about the money, it's about preservation of the past, both the tractors and the family memories. That's right. That's why we do it. The tractors is just, it's the glue or the mechanism that brings us all together. I mean, look at what we're doing right now. I started on tractors because they're cheaper than cars. If it quits on you at a show, it's not the end of the world. Car breaks down on a drive, it might be. That's true. You're stuck until you get it fixed. Yep, we restore and rescue tractors because we appreciate them and what they represent in our country's history. To me, it's one of the last major pieces that's left of the World War II generation. World War I and World War II. It's kind of a way for me to keep their memory alive. Appreciate the hard work and the struggles that they had to go through in order to make our country what it was or what it is today, which is kind of a sideways statement depending on let's not get political, but it's it's just a good way to remember where we came from, Matt the scrap whisperer is here. Heading to a good show in Walton, Arizona this weekend. And an online auction near Vegas. Lots of hit and miss going cheap. Like $5 a piece cheap. That is cheap. Don't tell Rudy. In my family, we usually mechanically restore the tractors, but we keep them the way we got them. Got a Farmall 504 that's got farmer fixes on top of farmer fixes, and we just left it that way. Hey, nothing wrong with that. If it runs good and performs like it's supposed to, it's perfectly fine left alone. That's the reason they were called the greatest generation. That's right. Yep, that's the John Deere D. I've gone back and forth on. I'm still going back and forth on whether or not I should paint it, but I'm going to have a lot of money into this thing just in mechanical repairs and machine work, and to drop another $2,000 on paint and primer and those materials that's a lot. And if I was going to paint it, I'd have to be looking at new fenders, a new hood, and all the small pieces of tin that go along with the fenders, because they're I don't think they're going to be repairable very easily. There's a lot of rust holes and cracks and tears and bad wrinkles and everything else. So I think cost effective wise, maybe someday we'll paint the D. And I know that the right way to do it would be to paint it now because it's all apart, but I want to keep it the way it is because it tells a story of 97 years the way it is. I mean, I've got shiny tractors and I've got tractors that aren't shiny, but I think the D is just going to be the way it is. Yeah. You look at the real early crude tractors, that just makes you think, man, horses had to be real bad to even think about using an old tractor. But yeah, there's a great bronze sculpture of a tractor and soldiers at the World War II Memorial in D.C. That would be cool to see. There's probably a picture on the internet somewhere. My bad. Kenny said R. It's a G. Oh, G's are. I would love to have an unstyled G. I think that would be a really cool tractor to have. Hans is here. How we doing, Hans? Ballpark and money that I have in the D right now. Well, let me think. I would say I'm probably, if not close, I'm over $5,000 invested so far. And I haven't bought gaskets. I haven't even touched transmission bearings yet. There's no paint. I haven't bought any tin work, and I'm not going to buy any tin work. This will probably be, by the time it's all back together, I could see this being an $8,000 to $10,000 rebuild. So, and that's without any paint or tin work being replaced. I mean, a radiator core is $500. the rod bearings and maid bearings to have them rebabbited and remachined was $1,000, almost $1,100. The pistons were $800 for 2 pistons and rings and wrist pins. So it adds up really, really fast. Gaskets, probably about $500 for all the gaskets that I need. So, yeah, it adds up really fast. And I'm very grateful that I have good friends in the hobby that have helped me. If a tractor breaks down at a show, you've got potentially thousands of people willing to lend tools, parts, labor, or expertise to get it going again. 100%. I've been in both shoes. I've helped others and I've been helped. So I often think about and wonder who drove my RC back in the late 30s and into World War II. Did he go off to war? That's one of the $1 million questions. When you wrap your hands around that steering wheel, how many hands have been around that wheel, and how many, when this tractor was new, that was the pinnacle of technology back then. Keep the D in its work clothes. That's the plan. The D, then next it's your grandfather's case teardown. I think I think that's going to get put on the back burner for just a short while because I want to see if we can get that 60 running. That way, at least, when we move stuff around, we don't have to tow it. We can just drive it. So if we can get the 60 running with minimal effort, I know we're going to have to go through the carburetor and the distributor. Probably going to have to pull the head and check the cylinders out because the engine's stuck. So we'll probably have to pull the head, put a head gasket in it at minimum, and a manifold. It needs a manifold bad. So once the 60 is done and running, then I think we'll probably switch gears and go into my grandpa's case SC. So the last horseback cavalry charge was in the Philippines in World War II. Well, that's interesting. As once heard, these old tractors only have the original patina once, can't go back if you paint over it. That's almost true. But if you guys saw my video on the John Deere D collection, which, by the way, we're going to go back down there and get more video of the rest of his collection, but we're just not going to do it when it's 20 below. But Hans has actually taken paint layers off of tractors and uncovered original paint. But where you can't go back is if it's been sandblasted. That's a fresh, clean slate. So, and if I'm going to do it, that's how I'm going to do it. I will have everything sandblasted, and just like we did with the H, we would start from brand new metal. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it, man. I'm very appreciative of your support. So, prices to overhaul old iron is crazy these days, especially if you need machine work done. Yep. The block actually was really reasonable. I had it done by Auto Value in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and they bored it. They sent it out for sandblasting and boiled it out. They decked it. They removed all the studs, the head studs. And after all said and done, I think it was $525. So I thought it was going to be a lot more than that, but pretty pleased with that. Yeah, I got to get the 60 running because I want to make sure that everything here is drivable. I don't like towing stuff around, and I don't like weed whipping around stuff. I'd rather just move it and cut the grass, It's just crazy to think that a simple Farmall M or John Deere B was probably one of the best days of a farmer's life the day it showed up on the farm. Yeah, I know. Yep. Any plans to find the H a set of front weights? I put a couple sets on my M and they sure look sweet. They're quite high though, usually $100 a piece. Yeah, I was up at Squatch's place probably 3 weeks ago picking up the fan shaft for the D that he fixed for me, and I started looking at the weights on the front of his H, and I'm like, man, I could get used to seeing those on the front of my H. So when money's right and I see them, I'll pick up a set. A couple good friends grew up on Ds, GPs, and ARs. Their dad was a John Deere mechanic in the 30s. Said they wouldn't take a D if they were given one. Now more international Maloons than Deers on their farm. Yeah, well. But yeah, I keep all the receipts for everything. So when I get done with the D, we'll do a cost analysis of the mechanical rebuild on that, and it's not going to be cheap. If I remember correctly, the H. Now there was a lot of donated labor, and the chrome plating that we did on it, that was all donated. But I did ask anybody that donated labor or materials or whatever. I did ask that they provide me with an estimate of what said work would cost. And the H restoration ultimately would have cost, if we had to pay for everything that we had done instead of dealing with the donations, it would have cost us between $17,000 and $18,000 to do what we did with the H. And I think we raised right around $4,000 for that through the GoFundMe. And then I put about $1.50 in for every dollar raised. So, I mean, we probably have $10,000 in actual money into that tractor, plus the $7,000+ of work that was donated to it. So, it's not cheap to do this. And we got the tires; they were donated from Titan, which is a division of Goodyear. It'd be nice to be able to track tractors after they're gone. Like, I'd like to know whatever happened to my great-grandfather's 806 Standard after he traded it for his 1466 front-wheel assist in 74. Well, if you still have the serial number, you could try to find it. Speaking of which, I sent a letter to the gentleman that currently owns my grandpa's Farm All M, and the only way that I could figure out how to send him a letter was I Googled his name and phone number, and it came up attached with this P.O. box. So I sent it to the P.O. box, and unfortunately, the letter came back to me, returned to sender, undeliverable. So yet another roadblock in trying to get my grandpa's Farm All M back. Squatch, I think, has an extra pair of weights, but I'm not gonna come after him for trying to sell them to me. But he probably would. I just what's his is his, and I respect that. So my dad had a John Deere Lindemann crawler when I was a kid. It was based on the old John Deere B. It sure was. He had to lean over the tracks to spin the flywheel. Man, I had some arms on me from cranking that old beast. I believe it. Yeah, Charles, I appreciate you and everybody else that donated to the H. That was a major project, biggest thing I've ever done in my life as far as tractor projects go, and it also allowed me to do some healing too after my mom's thing and even my dad's thing too. I mean, that was 3 years before my mom, but I probably never healed properly from that. So that project kind of got me over the hump, I think. And I appreciate that from everybody that helped out with that. Friend of mine got lucky and was able to buy 6 sets of international front weights. I was able to get 3 sets from him. They're quite rare. Yeah, you don't see a lot of them, that's for sure. Only money to be made in restoring tractors today is to be the guy paid to do it, not finding, restoring, and selling. Yeah, I've had some people approach me on restoring their tractors, but I don't have time. I don't have time to do that. Yeah, I guess he might need his weights on his W4 or his Super W4 for that matter. I didn't find you till the H was done and over, I think. Well, there's plenty of videos to watch. If you want to go back in the archives, you can watch the whole playlist. There's a whole website dedicated to the John Deere Lindemann crawler and the Lindemann Brothers dealership and their other equipment like discs and rototillers. Yep, they are quite the interesting thing. Kenny, have you thought about a GoFundMe for your D? I know you don't like to ask, but folks may want to contribute. I mean, the thoughts crossed my mind, but that's a tough subject. I mean, I would definitely, whatever, if there was any funds left over, I would donate it to the same cause, or maybe find a new cause to donate it to, like the Wounded Warrior Project or something. But um, I don't know. I really just haven't given much serious thought. That was kind of where the hats came out, was to try to create funds for that. So I mean, I guess I could. If people want to donate, they can donate. It's not like people are forced to do anything. So if they wanted to, they're more than welcome to. But I don't want people to get a bad taste in their mouth. Because I mean, even with the H, there was, with all the good that we did with that, and we're still doing with that. Um, there's still people that ridiculed me for doing a donation fund for that, and it kind of discourages you from doing that again. And that was for a good cause. This is just one of my dream tractors that I've always wanted. So I don't know. I'll think about it some more, but it's just, I don't want I don't want to become a channel that people associate with trying to swindle people out of their money or something. That's not it at all. I don't I work very, very, very hard, but I don't know. I guess that's my final answer. I don't know yet. My uncle, when he was 12, filled the John Deere D up with gas, but he filled the starting tank instead of the main tank. He drove it halfway around the field till it ran out of gas. Yeah, they're not. They are not easy on gasoline, that's for sure. He cranked it half an hour till a friend showed up, turned on the petcock for the starting tank, and it fired right up. There you go. Grew up 160 miles from the old Lindemann works. I've driven by their old location many times. Charles says they have nothing to do but cause others heartache. Yeah, I know, but it's just, I don't want to have some type of reputation like that. That's not who I am. I'm not out here soliciting people. If people if they feel like they are in a position where they could contribute, then they can. That's all it is, and they can see right on the internet where their money's going. It's not going in my pocket. That's for sure. And if I, with the H, if I were to ever sell it because of whatever reason, maybe I'm hard. Well, that wouldn't even. I don't even know what the reason would be. Maybe let's say I lose my house, right? I have no place to keep the tractor and I have to get rid of it. Even then, I would still donate whatever money that the H brought. I would donate because it's not right for me to keep that money because so many people contributed. So I don't know why people got so upset about that because I'm not using it for personal gain. I mean, the only personal gain I'm getting out of it is the minuscule amount of money that I'm making on YouTube, which I'm lucky if I get $150 a month off of YouTube. So I don't I don't I don't see where people are gonna where's the weight in their argument, I guess. The ones of us that have been there since the beginning know all you do is for good. I appreciate that. I try, I don't, I don't ever, I don't ever recommend people do things the way I do it, but it works for me. I don't have all the right tools or all the knowledge, but I learn as I go and I accumulate tools and, um, occasionally somebody will send me something that they see that I need, which I'm very appreciative of. And, um, I'm just doing what I love and I'm putting it out there and showing people that you don't have to be a master mechanic. You don't have to have all the tools. Um, you can get it done. You can get a lot done with minimal tools. Some of my tools are homemade, things that I just thought of and cobbled together and they work. Some things, are tools that friends have made for me that have more experience than I do as far as metal work. So we were having a discussion in small engines class the other day because a kid refused to believe that a 2-cylinder engine could be 8+ liters. And I just pulled up the piston for a D. They shut up. Yeah. I mean, I have the pistons sitting in the other room for the D. They're bigger than a milk jug. So, what's the plan for the little LBs hiding in your shed? Well, I want to get them running. One of them for sure. One of them is pretty much complete. The other one, um, needs a flywheel, which I could easily find. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like maybe put them in something. Maybe it'd be really cool to make like a scale model of an international Titan or something. Just something fun to putt around with that my daughter can use, or other kids at the threshing show can jump on it and play around with it. But I don't have a welder. I don't have a lot of the skills I would need to build something like that. So right now the plan is to get them running. Am I putting high compression pistons in the D? Yes, I am. High compression, and they are an 1/8 inch over bore. So we're going from 6 3/4 to 6 7/8 inch bore, and they are high compression. So yeah, I'm hoping we can actually start it without belting it or pull starting it. So Brian H is in the house. How we doing, Brian? I'm already 20 minutes beyond when I said I was going to shut it down, so we're going to go for another 10 minutes and then I'm out. I'm sorry. Larry says he found the channel when we worked on the F20 and he was laid up from getting hit by a flat belt when it broke, and my channel kept him sane while he was stuck on the couch. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad we could get you through that. Hit by a flat belt, that had to hurt. Oofta. I really appreciate the Farmall H countershaft nut removal tool. I made a replica, and it really made that aspect of the M project really easy. Yeah, it worked great on my M, but on the H, it didn't work so well. That countershaft nut was stuck on there. And if you watched any of that video, I think it took me 3 days to get that thing figured out. I ended up cutting the nut in 3 different spots to get it off. But Hyatt wants to know what my dream prairie tractor would be. Oh, man. I don't know if I really have a dream prairie tractor, but if I could get one, I would probably get a 1630 Rumley, just because they're manageable to haul with, you'd probably need a 1-ton truck, 3/4 or 1-ton truck for sure, because I think they're about a 10 to 12,000 pound tractor. But yeah, 1630 Rumley would be probably right up there with what I would actually want. Oh, my back. But Matt says if I need a welder, he's in the metro and have a MIG, a plasma cutter, and a torch, and would love to help if I could. I do have a torch set, but I don't have anything other than that. And that torch has saved me many times. It's actually my cousin's grandpa's torch. There was a guy that had a GP that he nicknamed Samson. It was bored and stripped to 501 cubic inch. Was making 60 horsepower on the belt dyno, but it kept slipping the belt on the small pulley. That's a lot of power out of a GP, that's for sure. How about dreaming of a Farmall regular fairway model? When I bought the F20, I was originally looking for a regular, but I couldn't find one. And if I was gonna get another F series or that era of Farmall, I would look for a regular narrow tread. Stay safe. Good chatting as usual. Lots of good stuff. We'll be looking for new videos, and I'll try to post some new ones when I can. Hunting and stuff said he's back. Sleep isn't happening. Well, we're going to go another 5 minutes, and that's it. I'm done. So my old college teacher hauled his 1630 Rumley behind a V6 half-ton Chevy pickup on a bumper pull trailer over 100 miles. Said he didn't plan to try it again. Had to get it home somehow. Yeah, that's that is risky for sure. What's my opinion of the pulling capabilities Wheatland to row crop? I will restore an International W30 after my Ferguson TO20, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it compares to our F30. Well, W30 should be. I'm not an expert on them, but they should be pretty comparable in power. to the F30, but my question would be the gearing. If they're geared differently, then the W30 will probably pull better. And prairie tractors or wheatland tractors, they were built to pull. So I would say the W30 will probably do better plowing than the F30. Isn't the D the wheatland version of the G? No, it's not. D is a much more powerful engine than a G. And actually, the late Model A's were almost a better tractor than the G just because of the power to weight ratio. They had almost as much power as a G, but weighed several hundred pounds less. So you could do just about as much work with a late Model A as you could with a G, from what I've been told. So guy around here used to have a D with a baler flywheel on it for the tractor pulling to make it really lug. Yeah, Don Duffner, I think, has a Model D that I'm pretty sure it's over 100 horsepower that has a stationary engine flywheel on it because they're a lot wider and thicker and heavier. So yeah, the commercials are interrupting it because I think that's something they changed in the new monetized feature. They can run commercials during a live stream, so I apologize for that, but W30 and F30 Farmall is the same engine, but a W30 would probably all pull a F30 because it weighs more and it's strictly designed to pull. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. And I don't know about the transmission gearing or anything, but no, the G and D are very, very different. D is basically a wheatland tractor, just like a W6 or W30. They were built for pulling and belt work. That's it. Matt's taking off. All right. Thanks, Matt. Sorry about the ads. Real thing I'm wondering is if I can make an overdrive from an F20 fit on my W30. Well, with a little machine work, you'd probably be okay. YouTube started it last fall. Not upset with you, just ridiculous for them to do it. Yeah, I know. But I'm going to start saying my goodnights because it's 10:29 and I said I was going to be out of here at 10. So really appreciate everybody stopping by and saying hi. I'm sorry it's been so long since we've done a tractor talk. It's probably been about 6 months, but like I said, I've been working a lot, and I had my eye on a very important goal that I had to meet by the end of the year. So we met it, and now we got a new goal. So appreciate everybody. I'll think about, since it was brought up, I'll think about a GoFundMe for the D just to help. Again, we are selling the hats, so if anybody's interested, email me, kenny.kizzle@yahoo.com, and we can try to get you set up. They're $30, $8 for shipping, and like I said before, the money goes into the tractor projects. So, but it was good to see everybody, and hope you all take care. Stay warm. I know a lot of you aren't used to this kind of cold weather, but stay warm. This too shall pass. I know we do it every time, but all right. I'm just trying to read up on the last part of the goodbyes. So you guys take care, and I'm gonna go put this fan shaft in with the rest of the ready to install pieces. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.